Ho, ho, ho. Freudian slips.
Very nice. Hi, Ollie.
Hey, Danny. I did Jingle Jingle last time, so I was like, oh no, what else is reminiscent of the holidays? Ho, ho, ho.
I wasn't expecting that. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Fuck yeah. Sleigh ride.
Really?
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting.
Really?
Not that I had pinned you for anything, but that was a very quick answer.
Yeah. It's by far my
Well,
favorite. I don't like most Christmas songs. They're
cr-
like Mariah Carey's a classic. But I mean,
sure.
other than that, I don't like them. I think they're annoying. But like, you get me when I'm high on the right things, and it's like lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. I mean, it's a sing along classic.
I'm about to like be really nerdy. One of my all-time favorite Christmas songs is going to be "Carol of the Bells." Yeah.
What?
And then to kind of go off of that, I think the song is called like "Setting a Trap." Have you seen Home Alone?
No.
You have not seen
I
Home Alone.
no. I get that reaction every time.
Ollie.
To be honest, I haven't really seen many Christmas movies. I can't see many movies. I fall asleep in 5 seconds. But even as a kid, I'm surprised. I didn't really watch very many Christmas movies. I watched like Scrooged and Elf. Can't think of a whole lot.
Okay. Okay. This
We'd watch those cartoons. You know those little like animations that are forever old?
mhm.
We'd watch those with like the Abominable Snowman and like
Yeah, yeah, those
Rudolph.
claymation
But
ones.
yes, yes, we watched those.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving on because this is gonna turn into a lunch hour real quick. Yeah, this we need to have a conversation. You opened up a bag of worms.
I
Okay.
know, sorry, I feel judged.
This is Freudian Slips. This is where we could talk about the shrinks, kinks, and things of the mental health system. And I
Feel
did it again.
I know, you really like calling this a mental health system, which, like, I think makes it sound more legit. Which it is a
Sure.
system. You're not wrong.
Well, I think we've been dealing with the system for the past couple of days, and
Oh
so
my
it's on
god.
my mind.
Ugh, the medical system, don't get us on that. Jeez.
The mental health field. And today we are going to be talking about fun, interesting, maybe unconventional date ideas for the holidays.
Yes.
Yay. I was looking through this list, and when we were planning this episode, I think it was a lot of fun, but then I realized I don't probably do hardly any of these. Do you get into the holiday season as far as your dates go?
No.
Okay.
I'm honestly, for as much as I love the holidays, like, we don't have many. I have, like, 3 decorations. I don't like clutter, so I don't wanna store decorations. I own nothing to wrap presents with. That was a point of contention this weekend at my parents' house. Everyone thinks I'm this, like, I don't know, they think I'm some decrepit, like, just misfit human because I don't have a giant thing of, like, wrapping stuff at my house.
Mhm.
No. So it's like, for as much as I love the holidays, I seem so not like holiday cheer. But, like, I love the holidays, but I don't do many of these things. Actually, so the first one on my list that seems kind of cheesy, I'm not gonna lie, and very therapist-y, Ryan and I did do this last year, and I really liked it.
I think I might have just set us up to sound like hypocrites. Going through this list has made me look at my relationship and be like, I want to try some of these things.
Yes, or some I acknowledge that are like, they would be fun things to do if
Yeah.
you were into that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not, I don't think we're hypocrites because it's like I didn't put anything on here that I'm like, that's not like what. But if I'm not a big Christmas movie person, yeah, I have one that involves Christmas movies. And if you're into Christmas movies, I think that'd be a cool one to do.
hmm Why is this important for therapists to talk about? On a personal level, I've always had a very dissonant relationship with tradition.
What does
And
that mean?
so what that means is that while you and your family might say like, well, every Christmas is how we get together, or you always have to put the nativity up, or we always
Mm,
have to do this, that, the other thing, right? We have traditions. Just the way that I kind of grew up, I've always been very dissonant. I've always been very distant, always felt a gap between me and
hmm.
my culture, me and just like what it means to be like a guy. And so there's a lot of like mixed feelings growing up. And so that has always led me to question tradition. I don't want to do something for tradition's sake. And
Mhm.
so I do like an idea like this just for myself. Like, how can I make things meaningful for me rather than just doing things that society, culture, family has told me have meaning. And I think this has also actually helped me as a therapist because sometimes we're seeing clients where the tradition just isn't accessible. Maybe
Mhm.
some people have moved on in life, whether that be, to the afterlife or just different parts of the country or the world, just different phases of life because of what's going on. Finances might be difficult. And so you can't really do things that you used to do. And so with it being such a tender time emotionally, because the weather, this is where we see depression start to rise. We start to see anxiety with the holidays. How might we take a little bit of that back, give back to ourselves, have a good holiday, and present people with some alternative, fun ideas of how to spend the holidays and keep the romance going?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I was gonna say, Danny, I liked this topic because, like we mentioned in the holiday blues episode,
Mm,
like there's this time of year I think just gets really stressful for people. There's a lot of family stuff that comes up or just like heavy things in general that can, yeah, again, like increase like holiday blues is a thing for a reason. People see like can get really stressed at the end of the year. Things just get really hectic with like planning for holidays and organizing work and life balance. And so I think it's important, just like in any long term relationship, I think going on dates or prioritizing time for each other can kind of fall at the wayside anyway. I think, especially during the holidays, it can be a time where people don't even like think to try to incorporate something that could just be like little and fun. And I think could actually be like a really big, they'd look back and be like, oh, I'm really glad we did that actually. Like, that was
mhm.
nice that we tried to prioritize that, even during, like, a busy and stressful time. Okay, I'm getting into my first one, and this is the one that me and Ryan did do last year that I really like, and I think we even did it, like, the year before slightly less formally, but I really enjoy some kind of, like, year in review activity. And so I think this is where maybe some people wanna I'm not a fan of, like, quote, unquote, "New Year's resolutions," but I do like auditing, like, our
Yeah.
life. I mean, I'm a nerd. I like auditing my finances. I like auditing just like my time. Like I like every few months or weeks, depending on like what it is that you're trying to keep track of or change in habits. I like looking back and like analyzing, okay, like what worked, what didn't work, how do we feel about that? And so I think some people might do this in the form of a what are those things called? Like a vision board. If you're like
Mhm.
creative and that's how you want to like display things. I've been seeing online all these different ways people make like slideshows and stuff now. And whether
I've
it's like
I've
for
seen that.
right, whether it's for like a funny game or like I can see one where you're like doing one with your partner where it's almost like a year in review. And it's like we had this many arguments, go us, tackled them well. Or, it's like I think something like that. And it's like these are 5 goals we accomplished. That was great. It's like I think any way that you want to be creative with it, but just kind of going through how do we feel this year went? Did we, tackle or do the things that we said we wanted to do? If we didn't prioritize those, why? Like, did we decide to pivot? Do we want to do those next year? Like, I just really like the idea of whether it's in business, in life, like moving forward with a plan, and not like you don't need to make this now I feel like it sounds horrible or it just sounds like boring and nerdy. But like, no, it could just be a general idea of like, hey, let's try and take X amount of vacations next year. Or, we want to try and move out of our apartment and find something slightly bigger or with a yard or whatever. But I think just getting on the same page with your partner about like how do we feel things went last year? What do we want things to look like next year? Like I think those are really fun to do at the end of a year. But also this is where like I'm a therapist and I get other people are like, Jesus, this is really a therapist one. Like lessons, highlights, just anything of that nature.
I think that this is super cute. What immediately popped into my head was those games where people were like, "Give me a PowerPoint presentation of like the dumbest stuff," and I immediately thought of this almost like we just got our Spotify wrap up, like our relationship wrap up. It's kind of like that. I
Yes.
actually like this idea. This sounds
Right.
actually a lot more fun now.
Thank you. It's like I think you can get fun with it. Some people like I think when you and I don't know, maybe it's just the culture around how people view the quote unquote what are the New Year's resolution type things.
Mhm.
I think that's so different than being like, hey, we decide we want to be healthier next year together. How are we going to prioritize that? What kind of things do we want to do? Do we want to get a different gym membership or da da da? And like, okay, financially, can we carve that out and how are we going to do that? Like that to me feels so different than
Mhm.
like the stereotypical New Year's resolution of like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. And like it just ends there. There's no real thought process behind it. There's no long term planning. There's no breaking down of like month to month. How is this going to look? And so I think this can be like fun. You can get as lighthearted or deep with it as you want. And I think from a therapist perspective, it can help like build emotional intimacy with your partner. It encourages gratitude and reflection. It helps couples integrate their shared experiences together and also check in about I've heard friends do this or like I find it really interesting in couple sessions. I don't know if you've seen this, Danny, or maybe even not done in this exact way. If you're trying to almost do an exercise like this with couples, not in terms of like a new year, but just getting on the same page of like, oh, so like in the last 6 months, have you guys like, yeah, so have things gone the way you both wanted? Like, are we both where we want to be? I have so many times where one partner's like, yeah, and the other one's like, what? Or one
Mm.
person's like very not happy with how something's going, and the other person is like blindsided by
Yeah.
that. So I think this is a really good way to check in with each other about like, hey, like I would like us to start thinking about kids or about this or about that. And like feel out if your partner's like, I totally agree. Like, I think we're at a great place for that. Next year could be a great time to do that. Like, let's revisit that in a few months or whatever it might be. But I think it might even just highlight things that you're not on the same page about that are a shock to you. And it's like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. Let's talk about that. So I think it also prevents you from going too long without feeling like, oh, I had no clue we were on such different pages about this.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's one of mine. It's very therapist-y, but we have done it like the last few years and I love it. One time I think we just went out to dinner close to the end of the year and did it like at the dinner place, like talked about this kind of stuff and I really enjoyed it. And then the other year, last year, I think it might have been more like on a New Year's Eve kind of a thing, or maybe like the day before or something, where it's like, let's talk about how this year went and things that we want to do. And will I say my husband was as excited as me? No, but he participated. He didn't have to want to take out the trash, but he did. And that's all we can ask for sometimes. I think he does appreciate it though. He finds it fun. I just find it like exhilarating.
Awesome. I like that one. Good one. Good start.
Thank you. What is one of yours?
One of mine is a thrift store gift swap. And so I
Mm.
think Secret Santa I think is something that we tend to do often at my house just because there's quite a few of us and we want to kind of be just respectful of people's financial budgets and stuff. And sometimes it's just exhausting buying presents for everyone. And so Secret Santa, I think, is a pretty common thing. What I think it might be kind of fun is setting a budget is another thing that I think is common. But what I might think kind of takes us to the next level is also then setting where you can actually get the gifts from.
Oh,
So here's $20, but everything has to come out of Spencer's Gifts.
that's fun. I
Do
like
you have a
that.
Spencer's Gifts? You know what a Spencer's Gifts is, right?
No, but no.
Okay.
But I was just thinking of like, I can imagine different stores that you pick that make this fun. Okay. You bringing up White Elephant too reminds me, I guess this would require more than two people, but just a general idea because I had never heard of it. And I'm like, I kind of love this and I might pitch it to my family for next year.
Mhm.
I literally just heard of one. I heard of it, I think, a few months ago or like a month ago. And then a client just mentioned it again yesterday. And I was like, okay, like I really like this. Where instead of a white elephant, you still set like a price limit, but
Mhm.
you just get a gift that is something that like you have loved over the last year or something that you're like,
Mm.
everyone's got to have this. It's an awesome product. And so even like my client was telling me theirs was like an eye drop thing that like makes your eyes really bright, I guess. Or like if you didn't get a lot of sleep one night or if you're hungover or whatever, it's like you put these eye drops in and it like really brightens your eyes. Like it like looks like you have 12 hours of sleep. But they were saying that these are like awesome. They're like such a good like go-to to have in like your cabinet or something. And I'm like,
Mm.
how cool is that? Because if you gave that to someone, they'd be like, what the fuck? And it's probably only like $10. But if you know that this is someone's like favorite product and they're like, you'll thank me later. I love that concept because I feel like I have so many random little things that I'm like, everyone needs this. And they're just like these really simple little things.
I like that one. I do tend to I think I shop for myself when I do give gifts to other people.
Yeah.
And I want that to sound nicer than it probably does sound.
Yeah,
What I
no,
mean
I
to
think
say is
it
I
sounds
agree with
good.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think essentially you're going in with the same kind of idea where it's like, "Ooh, would I like this?"
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it could look tacky if you give someone eye drops if it's in a white elephant versus if you know the concept is like a product that you love, that you really think other people will love, regardless of like the price.
Yeah, yeah, like it.
But I like those concepts. Oh, that's
Mhm.
fun. I love anything you can gamify, really.
Yes. And in case just for your personal knowledge, Spencer's Gifts is pretty much like an adult gag gift store.
Uh, okay, I think we have something like that here. I'm forgetting the name. I think it's called Spencer's.
There we go.
I didn't know gifts was attached.
It probably isn't. Spencer's.
And it's like at a mall,
Yeah.
and it looks like a Tilly's kinda used
Yeah, yeah,
to.
exactly.
We have that. It's
Yeah,
called
it's a bunch of band T-shirts in the front. It's a bunch of
yeah, and then, like,
ball like
sex stuff in the back, like funny
yeah.
gag sex stuff. We have a Spencer's. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was called Spencer's Gifts. I apologize.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
My
just
god.
set a limit and say, "Everyone, y'all have to go there, make everyone super uncomfortable, and make sure that your parents are involved in this gift exchange."
I not even as a gag gift, but I think one of the sorry, this is an aside, I don't care. I think one of the best, like, just little sex I don't even know if you call it a sex thing, but obviously it's for a body part. Have you ever seen, like, a ball sack weight? Okay, so up here we have the, Folsom Street Fair.
You've mentioned that,
Yeah, yeah, you don't have that or, like, anything like that in LA?
where people are just I need to look into what you're talking about, but in an earlier episode, you did mention that street fair. I
Yeah.
think it was in, like, San Francisco or something?
Yeah, it's in the streets of San Francisco. To be honest, I feel bad. I couldn't tell you what like the point of it actually was. I'm sure there's a point. Like there's different stages. I mean it is like it's a very large event. I'm sure it is technically like for a certain purpose. But
Mhm,
like so many people go that are just dressed in like latex or leather or they do different demonstrations of like rope tying and like there's just all this different stuff and it kind of celebrates kink culture. There's
mm.
people having sex in the street but my favorite part is there are men with ball sack weights, and some of these men's balls are drooping down past their knees and they're like it's like a commitment like it has stretched over time and you get heavier and heavier weights and it sags your ball sacks more and more and I love it. I'm fascinated by it. I respect it. I love it. I go just to see the saggiest ball sack, and I respect those people, and I'm like, "Oh my god, 10 out of 10." I love it. So, sorry, that's one where it's like, if you give it to someone, please don't even do it as a gag gift. Just please appreciate the craft. That's all I have to say. Same with those giant dildos that everyone thinks are, like, funny,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, no, they're 100 and something dollars for a reason. They are for your anus. Like, people be using that. That's not a funny gag gift. Like, it's just
With,
that
like, the
goes in your
unicorn
butt.
tail pinned to the back of it?
Oh, those are fun. Those are fun too. You gotta love a tail. It's like there's so much fun stuff out there.
Yeah.
It
Go to
breaks my heart
Spencer's.
people don't know about it. Or like, oh my god, you've never seen a saggy ball sack? Come on. Respect the craft. Should I go to my next one? Okay, so this is where maybe I sound like a hypocrite. Something like a worst holiday movie marathon or where you just kind of watch either like holiday movies you or your partner don't like or ones that you find like really tacky or like just worst rated ones or something and you can both just kind of like laugh at them together. I think humor is always great to have in any kind of date experience. I think it builds like a playful dynamic around like the movie watching. And I think also like around the holidays, there's all this, I don't know, I think some people want to like create this perfect, there's like something perfect about like holiday, creating this ambiance. And so I don't know, it's like you throw a shitty holiday movie on and you can just kind of laugh about it and like not even have to worry about any of that. But I just find those things really, really funny. So again, will I be doing this? Probably not. I don't even know many holiday movies. I'm not a big movie person, period. But it's not to say I don't think this one would be a fun time if you like watching movies. I'm deep in the 50 Cent documentary about Diddy right now, and I just love 50 Cent so much. I just had to throw that out there. That I will watch,
I
binging
I
it.
I'm also halfway through it.
Oh my God. I love him. I love him. Can I give you one aside? I'm sorry. One more aside. You know the footage and you know how everyone's like, how is he getting this?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's because Diddy hired those people to
Yeah.
follow him around and then didn't pay them when he went to jail.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent's like, I'll pay you.
I got it.
I love him. He's just the best person ever. It's magical. Okay, sorry. Done. So it's not, unless 50 Cent comes out with a holiday something. I don't know if
He
I'd
did come out
watch
with a
it.
video game.
50 Cent came out with a video game?
Yeah, I think
What was it called?
I don't remember. It's an old, I think it was like these early 2000s video game. You're not
That's
missing out. Yeah.
like, what a guy. I mean, just imagine you've done so much that you're just chilling. You're like, I'm gonna spend 10 years trying to roast this guy I hate.
His
Video
hate
game.
is very palpable.
The what?
His hate for Diddy is very palpable.
As it should be. I mean, I didn't know about all this other stuff. Great context in this film, by the way. Excellent context. I learned so much about rap culture. I don't know anything about the Biggie Tupac debacle.
Oh,
Surprise. Not like that was a shock to anyone. But like, I just so respect how this was made. I love all the context it gives. And it's like, I thought I hated Diddy for the women's stuff. Now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, you were sketch as shit from the beginning.
yeah.
Oh, oh my
Well,
God. But yeah, so that's we should all just aim to be 50 Cent. I love him.
I like this idea of the movie marathon, though. I do feel gypped that you don't watch movies, and now we
Sorry.
can't have this conversation, but
I've seen Elf.
Elf is alright. Elf is alright.
Okay.
I can't I respect it, but I just don't have the same fondness as everyone else does. Weirdly, I think what me, my sister, and brother-in-law have tried to kick off over the years, and they keep trying to do it for some reason, is, like, we try and watch all the Star Wars movies. Harry Potter is a Christmas movie. I will play that one on repeat.
Did hear though, I think there was something that came online, it was sometime during November, and it was
Mhm,
like, if you start watching, like, one of the Harry Potter movies each weekend, you will finish, like, right before Christmas. And I remember thinking that was really cute. I just didn't like, I don't like Harry Potter, so I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, "Damn, I kinda wish I did." 'Cause
mhm,
see, like, that is something like you mentioned earlier, Danny, where, like, is that a normal or I think stereotypical tradition? No. But, like, I think stuff like that would be really fun if you can find things that, like, you're into, and it's like, "Oh,
mhm.
yay, like, let's, watch a different kind of holiday movie each Friday night as our
Yeah.
date," or, a series that you just keep watching the next one. Or if you're
Mhm.
me or Danny, I guess at this time of year, you're just watching the 50 Cent documentary, which is dark, but, that's how I prefer it.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. I think this one is a gimme. I think this one's pretty obvious, but it's also something that I actually do find myself doing. Me and my wife, we love driving around just looking at houses. And so this is a perfect time to go look at Christmas light tours. Some neighborhoods go crazy. Have you ever been to one of these? Like, they're insane.
We just went last weekend. My uncles, we used to do it when we were kids, and the uncle and aunt I'm closest to were
Mhm.
like, "Guys, we gotta try and do that again." And each year we've been saying it and we just like miss the mark and don't coordinate it well. So we went this past Friday, all of us, to one of those cities and or those streets where like, people sign contracts, like, you have to do this, and it's insane. And so we went, and then afterward, we, like, found a gelato place a few blocks away and, like, got
Nice.
ice cream. And I was like, I love this."
Yeah.
So those and even, like, my husband is not into holiday cheer at all, and he didn't like, he wanted to go to hang out with my family, but he's like, "I don't people go to look at lights? Like, what is this?" And then when we got there, he's like, "Oh, like, I get it. Like,
I
this is
get it.
crazy." And so
I
it's just interesting, I think, just seeing like what people do. And you don't need to be crazy into like Christmas or lights or like he even enjoyed it. And he's like, whoa, that was trippy. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
you guys do this near you?
We do kind of look for places that are getting festive, and I think just because of the baby this year, it's not something like we don't really want to go out in the cold,
Yeah,
but
it's been
this is something that we've always talked about. This is something that we do want to do.
Oh, you guys should. It was funny too because there were so many kids when we went, and it was really cute. Or like the babies that were just like super, super bundled up, and it was
Mhm.
really adorable. Like just watching families and these kids that are like staring at all
Mhm.
these lights, just like absorbing the world.
Yeah.
It was really adorable.
Your turn.
That's a good one. Mine that I think you kind of have a twist on too, and again, like, do I do this? No, I'm can't have gluten, so I can't eat gingerbread. But I think a fun one is like make a gingerbread house, but like blindfolded. Or like give one person special instructions to make a gingerbread house or like do some kind of competition with it. I don't know, try to make something elaborate out of the gingerbread that like isn't a house. Like you have to make some different kind of home structure or something. I don't know. I just think that stuff is funny. Again, I think it brings humor into it. It can build like trust and teamwork. It can also make failure safe and like lighthearted, which I think is good. Anything that you kind of encourage each other to fail, or failing is just kind of a part of the process. I think honestly, people in general need to do more of, but I think something like that would still be really entertaining and fun.
I really like this one. I genuinely like this one. I would want to do that. I like the blindfolded bit. I like ideas where like one person does something and the other person is the one giving the directions. I think that this is fun. I would do this one.
Right. Didn't you have a twist on this too, where there was like another way to kind of do it?
Yeah, you're making gingerbread houses, but instead of making them traditional like Christmas cottages, you're instead make them themed completely wrong. And so you guys are doing like scary Halloween mansions instead.
Oh, I love it. Okay, what's another one of yours?
Why not volunteer?
I think
Why
that's
not volunteer? Whether you're doing like a food drive, or if you guys are part of like your community, or if you guys have a church, if you guys don't have a lot of family, or there's just not, maybe the holidays aren't the most important things for you, like you don't really have a lot of things to do with your family. I think it might be a really nice opportunity, and a really sweet date night for the two of you to go out and kind of just give back.
yeah. I have a slight caveat to this one. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but a handful of years ago, I remember I like really wanted to either do like a canned food drive or like a morning of Christmas Eve or Christmas thing where you like deliver things for people. Like I thought that'd be really fun. And I looked into it and it was like a few weeks ahead of time. It wasn't like the day before, and like nowhere was accepting people. Like they're like, no, 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 like this is like full. Like people sign up for this, or like it came very clear these are things people look into way ahead of time, which makes sense. I just kind of thought there'd always be places that still need help. And maybe there are. If you're in the Bay Area and there are always places that need help, please let me know where, because I genuinely have tried to look a few years and everywhere's full, or they just like aren't accepting people. And I'm kind of like, "Aw, lame." Like, I would have liked to do that. And I don't know, for some reason I just don't want to have to look in like October to sign up for it. It's
Yeah.
like the advent calendar thing we were talking about before we hopped on. Do I love the concept of an advent calendar? Yes. But that means I need to order it to arrive like before December. That's just not my journey. For as type A as I can be, like that's, I don't know, it feels weird doing that. I don't want to order that in early November. And it's like I'm not that kind of prepared for the holidays. So I wish there was something that like a week ahead of time or 2 weeks ahead of time you can just sign up for and volunteer. And it's not this like thing people like volunteer specifically on the holidays or around the
Ooh.
holidays. And so I think those times become like just really swamped with people wanting to help, which is a good thing. But
Yeah.
I wish there were, yeah, if anyone's in the Bay Area and knows of places, let me know, because I'm kind of bummed I honestly can't find anywhere ever. But that one is a cute one. I do think that's always fun to do. Okay, this one I do like because I think this is more up my alley. So more of like a low stakes date night. I think when people imagine date nights during the holidays, they're thinking like, oh, like maybe we'll go ice skating or something. And
Uh,
like that could be a big thing. Like that feels like a lot to someone like me. And if that's your vibe, that's a great. Go for it. Or like, I don't know, going to see the Nutcracker or something. Like these things feel like a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with during this time of year, obviously depending where you live, but it's probably a little dreary, a little cold, a little gloomy. Like just have a really low key night in. Like maybe you guys order your favorite pizza or something and you're doing a puzzle. Or maybe one person's like reading a book they want to catch up on, and the other person's like doing some other little activity, like in the same room, but on the table, and one person's on the couch. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with just having a very mellow date night in on like a cold, dreary winter night. I think it can keep people up. It can help if you're feeling burnt out this time of year. I think it can strengthen nonverbal attunement to your partner. It reduces the pressure to like perform emotionally, or like associate a date with being like on and being this big event. And so
mm.
sometimes I think just like a chill, mellow night is a fun date night, especially during the holidays.
Again, I think you're shining today. I like the idea of no talking on a date, because these little small twists that you put into these dates, I think really do turn them into something that can be very, very fun. Like I'm trying to imagine what I'm picturing is that since we have a baby and sometimes she takes a nap, sometimes me and my wife have to communicate to each other without talking.
Mm.
And I'm picturing just like how dramatic we can be to say the simplest things and like just to have a whole day like that. I think this could be pretty fun. I would want to try this out. How do you pick a restaurant? How do you guys pick the activity? How do you do all of the stuff? Try and have a normal date without talking and let us know how that went.
Seriously.
I think that'd be fun.
I do too. I've noticed, and I don't know if this is something that happens like the longer you're with someone or the more comfortable, or I don't know. We don't go out to eat that much. I have lots of tummy problems. But when we do, I feel like lately we like talk. It's not like we don't talk to each other. But I think, especially if it's a restaurant where there's like a lot going on around us, we have way more fun just like okay, me and my husband are both the kind of people that if we're like we only eat a food we're like really craving. So like if we're going to a restaurant, it's because both of us are like, oh, like that's gonna hit. Like that's exactly what I want right now. So
Mhm.
we're probably just got our food and it's like, yes, like this is nothing I could want more than this food right now. So we're like in absolute bliss probably about whatever we're eating. And if there's stuff happening around us, we just kind of listen. And like you can tell, like when like we'll just, both be eating. And then you like can hear something near you and you just like kind of look up or you guys are like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, all right. And so I love that for a date night too. I think it's hilarious. And then we do more talking on the way home because we're debriefing the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it'll be like, you couldn't hear the husband. And I'm like, you think that was the husband? I'm like, I was getting like third date vibes and he wasn't even into her. And he's like, oh no, the resentment has built. It's they were married. I love it. I think it's so fun.
I know exactly what you're talking about. My wife is a professional eavesdropper.
Good. I
Like
love her.
everything is just like she's always just listening. And then like at the end of the conversation on our ride home, it's like, but this person said this and this is what was going on. This was going on. I also think we have a really weird habit. I don't know if we're doing this. I think we might be involved because I think it might be our fault because it happens so often. Everywhere we go, every big place that we've been to, every like unique spot, there's always a couple breaking up next to us. Everywhere we go, like we're walking and never fails. You look over somewhere, you look at a bench, someone's just out in the street, they're yelling at each other, they're crying on each other's shoulders, they're trying to console each other. Some people are just breaking up. It is the weirdest thing. Like that is, yeah, people break up all the time in front of us.
Have you seen I mean, I could see that you guys are pretty, like, stoic, pretty mellow seeming energy people,
Mm.
so I could see why you're not, like, intimidating to, like, be that around, Like, if they're gonna take up the energy in the room, or it's like it'd be, I think, with other people that are a little more, like, mellow or just kinda, like, side eye you for a second or just chilling, like, they're not causing a scene or being that big of energy either, so I don't know, maybe that's a part of it? You know those pages where, I didn't really know these existed, but my sister thinks they're so funny. Where it's like it's like people on BART or people of New York, and it's like just people like send the person who owns the page things they hear on like the streets, and then if
Mhm.
it's funny or if it's a good one, those people post it or whatever.
No, that's
Okay,
interesting.
there are, like, these pages that exist, and I forget which one my sister submitted one to because she was somewhere, and, she literally heard some girl she overheard her say something like, like, "I don't care if it's you or someone else, but, like, I'm getting married next December," or just next whatever, something like that, and my sister was like, "This is hilarious, like, this has to be a joke," and so she submitted it, like, to one of those pages, and it got posted, and she was so excited about it. But it's like, yeah, like shit like that. Like you just hear wild stuff. And it's so much I think that's half the reason why I'd want to go somewhere is if I'm like, will I either be like left alone to the extent I want to be left alone, or is it like prime for just solid people watching and like overhearing crazy
People
shit?
watching, good date idea.
Yeah, yeah, people watching. Just go do that anywhere. Be careful. Like if you're at a park or, it's like, I don't know, be careful around kids. Don't look like you're people watching too hard, but if you're sly
Yes.
about it, lots of great settings for that. Oh, these are so fun, Danny.
I'm gonna go back to one that you said and double
Yeah.
down on it. I don't do this, but my sister and her husband do, and I give them a lot of respect. They will fuck up an advent calendar.
Like, what kind of advent calendar?
Like we actually need to get on their level because they make advent calendars actually look fun. Right now they have two that I'm thinking of. I know they have more because they're weird. They have multiple advent calendars, whatever. There's two that I'm thinking of. One is like a Lego advent calendar, and so every day they're taking out and they're able to build like a little Lego model and then just put it on display. So as the season continues, they're making their own scene, and I think that's really cute.
Oh.
Another advent calendar that they have is it's a like a mystery, like a murder mystery kind of thing. So every day you open up a part of the secret, you try and solve it, and then that gives you clues for the next day. And so making your own advent calendar or just finding your hobby, it doesn't even have to be Christmas. It's an advent calendar. There's so many advent calendars out there. Just find something that you love and like just build that anticipation by just I think it's actually a really, really great idea. I would like to try that one.
Could be fun. See, and this is where it's like I think I'd overwhelm myself with looking up which advent calendar and is it even a good one? Do people say it's like worth the price? Because some of these things get spendy. But like that does sound really cute. And I do, again, I love the holidays. I love building anticipation. I love the countdown concept, you know? So I
Mhm.
really do think I would like that. I just, yeah, I'd have to maybe next year we'll get more on top of it ahead of time and we'll look into advent calendars. That could be fun. That one really could be. Which this does technically tie into my next one, and I feel like we've alluded to it. But it's like starting your own small intentional traditions. And I think these are nice because yeah, they don't need to be what other people consider traditions to be. I know in my family, and I'd have to figure out how to make it. And I know it's a shit ton of work, but every Christmas Eve, because we celebrate on Christmas Eve, not Christmas,
Mhm.
we make crab cioppino, and
What is that?
it's like some people say it's like a soup. I don't that's not how ours is. It's like different it's crab and different seafood cooked in like a red kind of sauce, and you eat it with a pasta. Ours is less of a soup. I've gotten it at restaurants before, and I'm like, I don't love this version. It's like very soupy. Ours is more like a very light sauce that goes over all the seafood. And you eat the crab's delicious. You can have the other seafood or take the crab out and put it on pasta. It's so we do
Nice.
it every Christmas Eve since I was a kid, and I love it. So, like,
Oh,
things like that, I would like to keep as tradition, but I think it's fun to, like, make other ones. Like, yeah, like, maybe each year you get a different advent calendar or,
mhm.
you, like, build upon the movie thing and watch a different series or something. But I do think it's fun to try and figure out what your traditions are or, like, what you want them to be. Have you had any more desire to do this now that you're a dad than before? Because that's something I think about. I'm like, if we had kids, I think I'd get more into some of these things or really start being like, ooh, okay, like I don't care about having a Christmas tree. But at some point, if we had kids, I'd probably have a Christmas tree each year.
Our tradition is that well, it's mostly my wife's, is that she does make ornaments, and so every year we have an ornament of like of a particular just a nice picture of us. As far as like me being a dad and has that influenced me to like make my own traditions? No, I think it has asked me or invited me to slow down even more.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, I just like kinda sitting by the tree with the lights on and just have my kid try and get to the presents, like, that's fun. Just her watching her army crawl. I am probably on paper the most boring person ever. I'm not really thinking any more further than just me getting home and just hanging out with her. If you guys wanna go out and do this, that's fine. I just wanna wake up and open the presents with her. That's it.
One we haven't mentioned yet that I just feel like has to be incorporated somewhere is something with hot cocoa.
Damn it. You know what? Yes. That's such a good one. That's such a
I
good
love
one.
hot cocoa. I love hot cocoa. And some places make their own hot cocoa or they do like they make their own, oh, what is it, whipped cream or
Mm.
marshmallows. So it's just like it hits. It's so good. Or if you're into me and Danny are boring and we don't really drink much alcohol. But if you're into like spiked eggnog or something, I don't know. Maybe there's a good place that makes like fun, like festive holiday drinks. I can't even stomach that. Thinking of that makes me want to puke. But some people I'm sure are into it. But, like, I'd be so down to just, like, go out and grab a hot cocoa or just make, like, a fun hot cocoa at home. We have a fire pit in the backyard and just sit there with my hot cocoa, watch the fire, make the dogs run around and chase the laser. I love it. It's so
Damn.
fun.
That's a good one. I'm kicking myself because, like, when we were coming up with this episode, that was one of the first ones that I pitched,
Yeah,
and I
and both
totally
of us were like,
forgot.
"Oh, duh, hot cocoa's great."
So dumb. So let me do mine and then we'll end with this one. All right.
Got
So
it.
the last one I had was a time capsule date. So write letters to your future selves about where you are right now and then open them next
Oh,
holiday season.
oh,
Right.
that's
And maybe don't share that with your partner when you're writing it. So
oh,
have it
that's
be a
cute.
surprise for them next year. And then it just kind of keeps going. So next year, you read the one that you did the year prior. You guys get to reflect on that and then write something for each other that you won't see until the following year. So
Wow,
there's that idea. But
that's cute.
back to this cocoa thing. The idea that I had was yes, not only make a drink, but when I pitched it to you, is make a drink inspired by your partner. So if I had to make hot cocoa for you,
Yes.
what would be your special mix of hot cocoa?
Not gonna lie, I don't understand the question. This
So
is I'm a classic, just hot cocoa.
so you can do this one of two ways.
Okay.
One, if you genuinely had an answer. So for me, like I really honestly do love gingerbread. I love
Oh,
ginger. I love cinnamon. And so making hot cocoa for me would probably do anything like that. So that's just an honest way of doing it. But another way that you can spin this into a fun, unconventional date is if you made it based off of like ingredients that kind of speak to their personality or, some other stuff. So the cocoa will probably taste like shit, but it would be kind of like a display of the person that you have been this year.
that's interesting. And see, I this is where I'm more boring than you, because it's like I like a classic. I don't want peppermint hot cocoa, I don't want this, I just want hot cocoa. Just a
Mm.
really good normal hot cocoa. Do you guys have what's that ice cream place? Salt and Straw?
It's overrated. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I don't get it. I'm like, you don't even have vanilla. I just
Yeah.
want vanilla or chocolate and it's like, these are our new flavors of the month. And it's like, what if I liked a flavor last month and now it's gone? It's like, you don't need to be doing all this. Stop
Yeah.
zhuzhing all this shit up. Make a solid vanilla and then maybe I mean, they're doing perfectly well, but it's like in my mind, it's like if you were really that good, just like stand on some standard flavors, please. And it pisses me off. So I'm a boring, just I like regular schmegular, the original done well. I think more often than not for most foods.
Do you like sipping chocolate or are you saying like hot chocolate mix?
Hot chocolate mix, sipping chocolate, I think would destroy me.
Okay.
I'm sure it tastes good, but I'm one of those people where, like, things can definitely be too rich. Like, some people want, like, extra chocolate, super extreme, and I'm like, "No, no, 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 I just would like normal chocolate." It's too much, I think, for me. Sipping
Okay.
chocolate, cheesecakes, I don't know, so I do like cheesecake, but it's like you can have 3 bites and then you're like, "Ooh, too much." Do you like sipping chocolate?
Maybe. I honestly can't remember the last time I had sipping chocolate. I do love a good chai. I
Oh,
think I
well,
might I think I might pick a chai over a hot chocolate, but if you mix those together, I think I might just figured out what I'm doing tonight.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
See, I've had a ginger hot chocolate mix, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I wanted to like it so bad. I like ginger. It's nothing against ginger. It was just like, this doesn't belong in my hot cocoa.
Mhm.
And so I love chai and I love hot chocolate, but I have a feeling it'd be the same thing. Like that spice that it brings is like, I don't want that spice when I'm having a hot cocoa. I want that spice when I'm having a chai.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
report back then.
Yeah. Let me know how it goes.
Okay.
It is
Alright.
exciting though.
So those are my 5, your 5, and 1 honorable mention.
Yes. I think those are good ideas. And then obviously we didn't even mention like or I guess I said ice skating as an aside, but there's other things people do, that I think are way more stereotypical that you can do as well if you're into that stuff. I just think people can get a little more creative with it if they
Yeah.
like because there's so many little things you can do. You can have fun. You can make it just a lighthearted night and maybe a season of just a lot going on and like waiting for a break. Like just carve out some time to enjoy with each other even during this time of year. However you decide to do it. Like have fun with it.
Yes, beautiful. Alright. I guess I'll see you next week.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Oh my gosh, how fun. Okay, Danny. I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.